Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you another possible way of organizing the integrated curriculum in Canvas for next year. And we'll call this way of doing things the integrated Webquest method, just for lack of a better term. Okay, so I'm going to walk through what it looks like from a student perspective and from a teacher perspective. So right now I'm logged in as a student. I'm in the homeroom course like normal, and it's time to work on an elective. So I'm going to click that link for Science Elective C. Then I have my two options as usual. When I click on one of these, it's going to now take me to this overview screen, and this is what's going to basically replace the modules in the way that we've done it this past year. So you can see that I created sort of an all-in-one overview page for the bugs course. I put a little header on here so it's obvious what course it is. It gives the course description, and it gives a little bit more information about the units. You could have ICANNs and different standards and things here as well. And then all I did was I included all the task lists onto one page for all the weeks of the elective. Okay, a couple things about this. First of all, notice that I'm still in the homeroom course. Okay, so I'm not in a new course yet. I'm not in an elective course at all. I'm just within the homeroom, and I'm looking at an overview of the elective. And this is why I kind of refer to it as a Webquest. So if you've done Webquest before, basically a Webquest is like a lot of related links to a topic, right? So you have whatever topic it is, say it's bugs, and then the Webquest tells you to go here, 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 and here and do these, 10 activities or whatever. And that's the way a Webquest works. Well, that's very similar to how our electives have already been structured. So I thought maybe this would be a good fit for that type of format. So let's see how it works. So as a student, I'm going to go to my first assignment, click on it, and you can see that the banner is still here to kind of signify that this is still a bugs assignment. You would do the assignment as normal, watch the video, take the quiz, and I'm not really going to complete the quiz. Let me just submit it actually. Okay, so I do my first assignment, submit it, I see the score. Now I'm done with that, so I can actually click on this header to go back to the overview for the elective. I can also just close this tab and go back to my original tab. And then I could do the next assignment, which is Bio B. It's this slideshow, so I'm reading the slideshow, take the quiz. And what I want to point out about these assignments is that I'm no longer in the homeroom. What I've done is, with this Webquest kind of format, I made the assignment be located in the biology core course in Canvas. So if you look at the course right here, this says Bio 1B. Okay, and that means that this assignment is actually housed within the bio course, within the core course on our Canvas server. So even though the student thinks that they're working in this bugs elective, they're actually doing an assignment in the biology course. So let me do a couple more of these assignments so I can get a score. I'll just submit it. Okay, so I've done my second assignment. I'll return back to my overview. Now here's the third assignment, right? And this is an English assignment. So when the student clicks on this, notice the difference. It still has the same header, so it looks like it's the same elective. But up here, it's now in the English 1B course in Canvas. So this assignment is part of English 1B. This is an upload assignment, so I would need to upload something. Let me just find a random file to submit. Okay, so now I've submitted my file, submitted my assignment, and again, this has been submitted to English. So this will be part of the English gradebook, which I'll show you in a minute how that looks. And let's do one more assignment. So here's my next one in the list. It's a CTE assignment. Click on that. Look at the header is still the same. It looks like it's the same elective, but notice my course right here is CTE 1B. So this assignment that I've linked to is part of the CTE course in Canvas. And I'm not sure why I can't take this quiz. Okay, but let's assume that I did that. Okay, so now I've done, a handful of assignments, and let's say that I'm done as the student for today. So let me log in now as a teacher. Okay, so from the teacher's point of view, when they click on this, they can see the descriptions as well. But remember how this is different. When a student does these assignments, they're actually not doing them in an elective course. There is no longer an elective course, a separate course in Canvas if we decided to go this route. The assignments are just spread out, and they're really placed in their respective core areas, their respective core classes. So if I'm going to be doing some grading here, I can't go to the bugs elective to see what's been submitted because there is no bugs elective. Again, it's more of like a Webquest kind of style. So what I could do though is go to my core courses. So that would be biology, English. Okay, I'll just do a couple of those. Okay, now look what's happened. In my core bio course, I now have those assignments that my students submitted. They popped up on my to-do list, right? So here's that bio A assignment, the bio B assignment. And look here, within my core English course, I can see, oh, my student submitted the works cited page. And you can click on that in SpeedGrader like you normally would to see the content of that and grade it. This is not the actual assignment, obviously. Okay, so that's how it's different. There is no longer an elective course. You're doing all your grading within those core content classes. So if you think about the advantage of that, you no longer have to look around in different elective courses. Every week as the teacher, you're going to be logging into the same 4 courses, and that's pretty much it. Maybe 5, right? So biology, English, CTE, art, and health, and that's it. You'll need to be very comfortable with using the to-do list to see what's being submitted. Okay, now let me go back really quick to the student. Actually, you know what? Let's add a couple grades that the student can see. So right here, I'm just going to add some points for him. So we'll say he got 4 points there. And whoops, where am I? And let's add some points here. Okay, so I'm going to go, let me just verify that those got saved. Okay, so those electives fall under week 8, which here they are. So let me now become a student. Okay. So here's my student. You can see that I received the grades as the student. I see that I got my grades. Now let's look at the actual grade book. You can ignore this for right now, all the week 1 through 7 stuff. I just copied the assignments. My fake student doesn't have any grades for that yet. But you can see that right here under week 8, he received those 2 grades for those 2 quizzes in biology. And because both biology electives are going to be in the same course, this is the potential confusion. The potential downside to this is that you'll need to have assignments for both electives in the bio course. And you can kind of see a breakdown of this right here. So this says week 8 C1. C1 is the bugs course. So like there's the introduction to insect assignment, top 10 strangest insects assignment. Those are all for the bugs elective. Then the ones that have this designation C2, that's the man's best friend elective. That's what C2 is for. And so these are the assignments for the man's best friend elective, introduction to dogs, dog anatomy. So if this were to be complete, you would have maybe 15 assignments in this list for bugs, and they would say week 8 C1, week 8 C1, week 9 C1, week 10 C1, and have all the names. But then you would also have a list of 10, 15 assignments for the second elective. Okay, and right now there's no way to hide those. Eventually, hopefully Canvas will implement a hide feature where you could hide this depending upon the student's elective choice. But for right now, they're just basically going to have to figure out that they're in the bugs elective, so they only are receiving scores in bugs, and that they basically need to ignore these additional week 8 C2 assignments. So they'll have to look at this list that has scores, and they'll have to ignore what's here that doesn't have scores. And I think it'll be pretty obvious to see because they'll be grouped together. It won't be like they're randomly spread out. All the bugs assignments will come first for week 8, and then all the man's best friend assignments will come for week 8. So they'll be grouped, and it should be obvious which group of assignments each student is doing. And of course, Canvas automatically ignores assignments that don't have a score, so it's not going to affect their grade. Right here under the session, this 70%, this is going to be accurate no matter what group of assignments, no matter what elective group of assignments the student is doing, because it's only grading the scores that you enter, and it's ignoring the ones from the other elective that would not be entered. Okay, so that's just a quick overview of how this idea might work.